Okay, so we are solving linear inequalities in one variable. So for starters, let's have 4x minus 12 is greater than or equal to 20. So I ask myself, is this an inequality? Yes, it is. Then I'm going to put my line down the middle. I'm going to put my fishhooks on the line to remind myself that it's not an equation, it's an inequality. And I'm going to write RR down here to remind myself that if I multiply or divide both sides by a negative number, I have to reverse the inequality symbol. So I took care of the inequality. D is distributive property. There are no parentheses, so I don't have to do any distributive property. C is combine like terms. I can't combine these because x's don't want to hang with negative 12s. They want to hang with other x's. And I can't combine these because they're on opposite sides of the inequality. So there's no combining to be done. Do I need to get all my variables on one side? No, I don't, because look, all of our variables are already on the left-hand side. So now I just have to worry about isolating the variable. So where is the variable? Well, it's contained in this term right here, so I'm going to circle the whole term that contains the variable. Now, if I want to get 4x alone, I have to get rid of these 12 negatives, and I want them to all go away, so I'm going to give them 12 positives to hang with, which is going to make them really happy. And I'm going to add 12 on the other side to keep the balance in my inequality. And these cancel out. That's the addition property of equality, by the way. 4x, and these are all positives, so that's 32. Now, I want to isolate my variable. I want to get x all alone. I don't want the 4 to leave. I'm sorry, I do want the 4 to leave, but I want the x to stay behind. So what can I do so that I have only x here? Well, I'm going to, since this is multiplying here, I'm going to do the inverse, which is divide, and I'm going to divide by 4. Because if you think about it, 4 over 4 is 1 whole. And 1 times x is x. That's 1x. Since I divided by 4 here, I better divide by 4 here. 32 divided by 4 is 8. Random rule. Did I multiply or divide both sides by a negative? I did not. So I do not have to flip the symbol. So I keep it just the way it was. And if I go to graph this, I'm going to begin with the number 8. My circle is going to be a solid circle because, yes, x can be equal to 8 or it can be greater than 8. So I'm going to put my arrow to the right. And that's your answer. Okay, here we go again. Let's write down negative 3a plus 10 is less than negative 11. And we're asked to solve this inequality. So I'm going to write down my ignorant dogs can't get internet. So I'm going to put a line down the middle. And is this an inequality? Yes, it is. So I'm going to put my fishhooks on the line. And I'm going to write down RR for random rule. Those are the two things I need to remember if it's an inequality. And do I need to distribute? Nope, I don't see any parentheses I need to get rid of. Can I combine like terms? Are these like terms? No, they're not. A's want to hang with other A's. 10s want to hang with numbers. Can't combine these. They're on opposite sides of the inequality. So I can't combine like terms. Do I need to get all my variables on one side? No, I do not, because all my variables are on the left-hand side already. So I guess I need to isolate my variable. Where is my variable? Well, it's contained in the term negative 3a. So if I isolate this term, then my next step would be to isolate the variable. So how do I get 3a alone? I have to get rid of positive 10. I want all 10 to leave, so I'm going to combine them with 10 negatives. These cancel out, and I have negative 3a. And be careful over here, you have 11 negatives, and you have 10 negatives. Nobody's getting married. That is 21 negatives. Don't need to reverse the symbol because I haven't multiplied or divided by a negative. I just subtracted 10 from both sides. Now, I want to get a alone. I don't want to get all of this gone. If I wanted to get rid of everything, I'd add 3a and that would cancel out completely. But I don't want the whole thing to go away. I just want to get a by itself. I want to leave a behind. So I'm going to divide by a negative 3. And if I do it on this side, I better do it on this side. And these cancel out, and I get 1 times a is a. And negative divided by a positive is a negative 7. Random rule. Ooh, guess what? I messed up. This is a negative 3, isn't it? Divided by a negative 3 on both sides, so this is a positive 7. And I have to reverse my symbol because I divided both sides by a negative number. So this becomes a is greater than 7. When I graph it, I begin at 7. My circle is open because a can't be equal to 7. It can only be greater than 7.